Welcome to Podtendo's Top 10 list. Listen to the show, we'll explain it. I can't explain it during the opening. Enjoy! Hey guys, welcome to Podtendo's Top 10 lists. I have to explain this. In honor of our 10th year, we're doing top 10 lists. It's cute. So we're into our 10th season. We're rolling through the summer, probably closer to the back half of the summer. Not that we recorded this in the future at all. And we're actually coming to the end of these top 10 lists. So I do believe that we're down to kind of the bitter throws. This might be one of our last. Maybe this is our 9th episode. I know we have one more that we haven't touched on that we're going to get to next month. But yeah, kind of wrapping up the summer with this guy. We're talking the top 10, our top 10 specifically favorite movies. And you say, hey, who is our? It's me, Mick, and I'm joined by my co-host,
Tyson.
Cool. And today we're going to talk about our favorite movies. It's exciting.
Yeah, not the best movies of all time, want to clarify that, but our favorites.
Well, I feel like all of our lists have kind of been like that too, right? Like I would say, I don't think any of my lists have been best. It's always been kind of favorites, right? And I'd say with video games more, it was kind of, I put a caveat, replayability, right? Accessibility. People I think are cool in terms of comic book characters. Funny, enjoyability, personal preference in terms of Simpsons characters, right? What's the other list that we did that was kind of weird?
Comic book characters. Remember that was the one you were kind of like, I don't know about this.
Well, just like,
Or Saturday morning cartoons.
Saturday morning cartoons, that was the other one. No, that one I feel a bit more confident of. I'm like, I watched cartoons before. But I forgot about Looney Tunes. Yeah. So sometimes you just forget about stuff. You're like, son of a gun. Speaking of comic books, though, I got a library card. You give a library card?
Oh, yeah.
Man, how come no one told me about this? It's great. I have this thing. It's called Libby. People are like, oh, yeah, Libby's great. I just have all the Age of Apocalypse, all of the comics, just on my phone. I've read through like 2 of the 4 volumes, and you just get them for free, and they're just on your phone. You can just read through a comic.
Yeah, there's also Hoopla. Hoopla is another one that you can just use with your card, and they have a bunch of comics and stuff on there. I find Hoopla actually has a little bit more. Okay. I always use Libby for like my audiobooks.
Sure. Well, that's audiobooks too. Yeah, like I think I got some pizza, and I got like a Amazon. No, what's it? Like a whatever their book thing, audiobook, Kindle. No.
Not.
I don't know. Whatever that is. And I was like, oh, cool. I'll get 3 free audiobooks, and I like downloaded 2, and then a couple weeks later, I got a library card, and they also just have audiobooks. And I was like, people pay for audiobooks, and it's just for free from your library? Man, that's bonkers. So, do yourself a favor. Stop listening to this podcast right now. Get a library card and read a comic book and get smarter.
Audible. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, definitely.
No, don't tell them not to listen to our podcast. What the hell?
No, I meant library cards. Go get a library card. If you don't have one, get it. They're free. Like, utilize that service. Support your local. Like, I like to, when I have books that I just don't read because I buy books and then they sit on shelves, I just go take them to my local, even old comic books. And it's like, here, you take these things.
Sure.
Please, somebody use these things. And so if you got old books and stuff like that, or you like to read or you like audiobooks, please support your local library. I think that's something we can all get behind.
PSAs out the wazoo. So cool reading thrills. I signed up for the summer reading challenge. I don't think I've done a single thing. So that lady that signed me up is so disappointed. Every day she's like, maybe one day he'll read a book, but I haven't. So sorry, lady. That's not me. I watch movies. That's why I'm talking about movies, because that's something I'm an expert on. I didn't do top TV shows because no. Again, that would be very subjective.
There's too many TV shows. I feel like movies, you can kind of limit it.
Yeah, like, exactly. Well, and even just watching movies. Them. Oh, what do you want to watch tonight? Do you want to watch all of Breaking Bad? And you're like, is that what I'm doing for the next 2.5 weeks? Seems like a real commitment. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Versus, hey, you want to watch Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? You're like, no, but it's only an hour and a half into my life. Okay, I could do something else afterwards. Yeah, sure, why not? So today we're looking at just these brief little, 90 to 3 hour long experiences that you can find on the silver screen. And I laughed when I saw Tyson's list because it's top 10 list, everyone. Tyson throws 15 entries at me, and I was like, son of a bitch. Now, my list, there's so many slashes and hyphens. I also have 15 entries. So for the first time, whatever, we're rebels here. Should we just like roll through your whole list? Because like I did the same thing. I don't know. Or are you good with just 10?
We'll just do 10 and up. I'll just touch on it.
Any of my splashes, are like super fast. Like I'm gonna mention them. I'm gonna give you like one brief point why I like them. I'm not gonna. It's gonna be. I'll talk like less time on my slashes than I will about like my other numbered entries. So.
Yeah, and I'm also just gonna like delete my one message here so we can actually like see our things on one screen.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, it's I think I'll just touch on them. I'm not gonna go into too much in depth.
Well, I get 2, 3. Okay, you can talk about 3 of them when I talk about them, and how about you could just like briefly touch on like your other 2 at some point.
I'll do what I usually do when we do the roundup. I'll just run through them.
Awesome. All right, that works. Perfect. So we'll start at a normal list, guys. We're not going to start 1 to 10 because then there's no suspense in who's going to do that. So we'll start at 10, work our way up. We'll let Tyson lead off here. Tyson, at number 10, what is your 10th favorite movie?
My 10th is Tremors. And I'm actually disappointed in you, Mick, as Tremors is a family tradition.
Yep.
This is a cherished gem with our family. Every summer we got to watch these movies. You don't even have it on your list. I don't know what's happening right now. I think you might be not feeling very good. You might have a fever or something, but yeah, no. Tremors all the way. I can watch it anytime. It's delightful. Burt Gummer, like any of these Tremors movies are just like fantastic. Maybe not the last 2, but I love the Tremors movies.
I mean, 2 to 4 or 5 are our class. They give you a feel. They have kind of a fun, quirky adventure. 1, though, I do believe is a masterpiece, right? In terms of just horror, it's a little creature feature. They kind of blew it out of the water where everyone else was kind of doing bad B-level cheesy creature films. They made a bad B-level creature film that happens to be extraordinary because of things like I don't want to be the guy in his 30s on a podcast talking about practical effects. Apparently we're a genre. Apparently I heard some other podcasts. He's like, well, I just don't want to be a white man with a beard in his 30s talking about what's practical better than special effects. I'm like, is that really a thing that we do? Fuck. Damn it. I'm such a stereotype. I don't want to just say that, but the love, the care, I mean, the cast, right, that goes into this, right? The Wards, the Bacons, the Grosses. I think they're exceptional. It was fun that it kind of carried on. And yeah, it is excellent. There's a couple movies on this list that just, I think are probably, I would say, a little bit better. I hold in a little bit more high regard. And Tremors, though, Halloween time, I'm definitely watching Tremors. Yeah.
Any day of the week, somebody says, hey, you want to watch Tremors? I say, absolutely. I just mentioned the word Tremors and I go, yeah, I could watch Tremors.
I think, I'll be honest with you. I think I'd watch all my movies on this list before Tremors. So that's why Tremors doesn't make it. So. Not that I don't like it. It's maybe
blasphemous.
It's maybe somewhere in the like,
you're no longer part of our family.
Yes, I did it. Woo! Yeah. All right. USA.
Speaking of USA, Mick, why don't you tell us what's your 10th?
Oh, my number 10. I kind of did a slashy thing. So remember, I have to move fast for this. I said I wouldn't spend too much time. So I've kind of got a clump of movies that I just feel are excellent cinematic experiences at kind of the bottom of the list. And I kind of just clumped them all together, starting off with Lord of the Rings. And I'm including all 3 movies from the Peter Jackson trilogy as just the greatest thing ever made. It's a fantastic, wonderful, larger-than-life world put on the silver screen, and it's just incredible, right? We did a whole podcast. We kind of fell in love. We got to dive through it. I will shut up in case we talk about it later. I also have Rocky and Avengers. So my number 10 is Lord of the Rings, Rocky, and Avengers. I think Rocky is the quintessential underdog story. It is the basis for basically what every sports story became afterwards. It's a time-tested story of just being able to go the distance of the underdog, and it's incredible. Rocky's my hero. I would say that. I'm like, maybe like Rocky 4, right, when he ends communism. That's pretty awesome. But it's just, I don't know. It's always great. At one point earlier this year, my wife came downstairs and she heard the Rocky music playing. And I was just sitting on the couch watching a montage of all of his training montages on YouTube, just on repeat, because I don't know, I just love him. He's my idol. So I'd throw a shout out to Rocky. And then finally, I'm going to have kind of like, this is even more slashes. Avengers / Infinity War / Endgame. One of the greatest cinematic universes, I guess if you want to call it, experiences in recent memory has to be the MCU, right? What they created. I remember back the humble beginnings, the origin tales of the Avengers. They came together in this 2012's kind of summer, and I was blown away. Sitting in the theater, I was like, I can't believe they're doing Thor, who flies around and smashes beers, with Iron Man and Captain America, and it makes sense, and it's good, and it's a solid story, and it's got great beats. And we get to Infinity War, where that's one of the best endings, I think, in movies ever, right? The fact that you just end it. I mean, I realize you're coming back with a 3-hour, epic to kind of end the story, but that's still ballsy, right? Big cliffhanger. And then obviously Endgame is just kind of the culmination of like this 15 years or whatever it was of filmmaking, right? So really cool, incredible experiences. And I think just the permutations that you see from Lord of the Rings and the franchise fevers that came from that, to the heart and soul of Rocky, to the epicness of the Avengers. They're my number 10 on this list. So now I've talked longer than 3 minutes on everything else, or I'm a liar.
No, that's fair. You know what? Solid movies. I mean, Lord of the Rings actually is higher up on my list, so I'll talk about it then. Rocky's good. I like Rocky. Just not like a franchise I want to sit down and watch. I've watched the movies. But I will say this, Mick, you are right. It did make waves for the sports franchises of the world, sports movies. Because without Rocky, I don't have the Mighty Ducks. Mm-hmm. So, where would my life be? And then Avengers, I'm just gonna pass.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Great. Now let's move on to your number 9.
I got Blade Runner.
Okay.
I love this movie. I think it's awesome. I think Harrison Ford's best movie. I know all the Indiana Jones and Star Wars fans are probably rioting right now, but it's okay. Those are good movies. I just prefer Blade Runner. I like the sci-fi stuff. This might be my favorite Ridley Scott movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. Created such a cool world. The cyberpunk, flying cars, crazy billboards and everything. The new Blade Runner movie is a visual masterpiece story-wise. I don't care. I like this movie because it's kind of like a murder mystery, but it's also creepy and has some of the best lines ever written in any movie. Okay. I love the ending. I think this is just a tight, cool, futuristic, neat movie that's creepy and gives you weird vibes, but it's also just a ride. So I love this movie. I could watch it any rainy day.
Okay, nice. In terms of, I remember not seeing it actually until I was doing some course in university, something about body dysmorphia, I don't know, something to do with body psychology or something. And Blade Runner was what we watched. I don't remember what the point of it was. Something about replicants, or how do you know? Or I kind of missed the point. And I was like, I've heard about this movie. I saw it. Definitely has an early sci-fi kind of dark, gritty Ridley Scott kind of aliens vibe to the world. And yeah, I people that love it will tell you I've heard that's their favorite movie. Some people though, it is very abrasive, and anyone that's like, I watched it, I hated it, it was stupid, it was slow, I don't get it. I think it is one of those things where if you know the Philip K. Dick story, or the source material, or you dive into it and you kind of go in with knowing the theories, it's more interesting, right? So it is kind of one of those films where it's not a one-time watch. You can't just watch Blade Runner once and be okay with it. It is kind of those things you almost have to watch a YouTube video, watch the movie, read a book, then go back and watch it, and you'll be like, oh shit, that was really good, right? So it is kind of one of those more rewarding experiences. So just that disclaimer for anyone who's sitting there like, that sucks. Did you only watch it once?
It's not a popcorn movie.
No.
It's more of a noir. If you like noir movies, this is a sci-fi noir with a lot of philosophical things going on to it. So for me, it is ticking a lot of boxes.
Yeah, that's solid.
But if you want just Transformers, maybe don't watch Blade Runner.
Oh, and that's it. And there's a time and place to watch Transformers, but Transformers does a lot of fluff, right? There's a lot of empty calories in there. You want more Blade Runners, where it's at. I
would argue there's never a time to watch Transformers movies, but that's me throwing shade at that good franchise.
You should go.
Sure, I'll say
at some
good.
point, go back and watch the first Transformers. You'll be blown away with. You're like, wow, it's amazing how many practical effects they have in this film and like all the stunts that they do. And like one of Michael Bay's like one of his renowned things from that film was how many stunts he's done, and his stunt team has never had an accident, and they're so professional. And you go back and watch, and you're like, yeah, they do have a lot of practical stuff going on in this movie. You're like, I just remember it being all CGI, but you're like, I mean, by today's standards, this is like old school old school movie making. This feels like old school Hollywood, and you're like, oh
yeah,
okay,
I don't know.
okay.
Like I can't stand Michael Bay. His style of just move the camera in every
unless
scene
he's doing a Turtles fight.
It is just pain, but he didn't direct those. He just produced them.
Oh, I see.
Every time he directs a movie, it's just like, just move the camera around. Ooh, such a director, such vision. Just move the camera around.
I mean,
while
Steven
you're filming.
Spielberg
It's like,
apparently
God.
made Transformers. Like, he was the producer on it, and he was just like, I like Michael Bay. I think Michael Bay's a good director for this. So I'm always like,
well,
so
Steven Spielberg
made Transformers? Okay, cool. All right.
Well, it's like anything. Like his name was just slapped on as a producer for many.
He ran the project.
things.
He just was like, I don't want to. I can't direct it right now. I need someone else. But he like ran the project apparently. So
Well, it maybe makes sense why I don't have a single Steven Spielberg movie on my list.
That's
weird. Wonder why.
All right. Yeah, me neither. Wink. I don't have any. Wink, wink. Oh, God, there's so many. Number 9. I'm just going to do a quick one because I see them on Tyson's list, so I will just mention them and then we'll talk about them later. One of my slashes. Look at this. Dark Knight and T2. So Terminator 2, Dark Knight, they'll be up on Tyson's list somewhere. We'll talk about them then. That means...
How do you have these movies so far down? I just... Okay. We will talk about these later.
I mean, okay, first off, like, I'm a weirdo, right? Like, we should list, like, when we're talking about the Simpsons list, you're like, well, Homer and Bart are my favorite. And I'm like, Milhouse and Frank Grimes are my favorites. And you're like, huh. But I'm definitely more of, like, the weird occult kid, too. So, like, I'm the weirdo, so take that with a grain of salt, so.
Yeah. There's a couple movies higher up on your list, and I'm like, really? This movie? Of all movies, this okay.
Well, now I'm curious. Now I'm curious as for you to throw shade. I think you're on 8.
I'm on 8. This is my one of my favorite horror movies of all time. If it's winter, I'm watching this movie.
Okay.
Number 8, I got The Thing. Man, what a cool movie. Crazy. We're talking about special effects. Crazy, creepy effects. Cool story. Do they is so and so the thing? It's Man, and you got Kurt Russell. One of my favorite things
Kurt
to
Russell?
do.
No, I thought it was like Mary Elizabeth Winstead in it.
Oh, you're thinking of
that's the only one I've seen.
Another World, or Beyond the Stars, or Another World. Yeah, I think it's Another World.
No, you're like The Thing from like 2007 or something, right? It was like a remake of like the old 80s one or something. Isn't that the one you're talking about?
That's a prequel.
Oh, okay. You haven't seen that one? That's not the one you're talking about?
No. I watched about 5 minutes of it and was like, I would rather knit than finish this. And I don't knit. Yeah, no. The Thing, like I said, one of my favorite things to do, you can find it on YouTube, is the, what's his name? Kurt Russell and the director, slips my mind at the moment. They did John Carpenter. They did director's commentary, and it's just them just laughing and just remember this scene? Yeah, that was crazy. Remember that scene? Yeah, that was crazy. It's they're not adding anything to this. They're just kind of two bros hanging out, and you're like, I want to just be in this room. I want to just hang out with Kurt Russell and John Carpenter. Just hang out with them, smoke cigarettes, and just chill and maybe drink some scotch or some whiskey, whatever they're doing. It's I feel like this would be the coolest thing. So great movie. I got sidetracked. Creepy movie, so much fun, a little bit of a mystery, who did it, and stakes keep getting risen. It's a effects masterpiece. It's so good. I love this movie. Like I said, if it's snowing or it's cold, I'm watching The Thing.
Excellent. That's awesome. I have a confession that I don't know if I've ever actually sat and watched The Thing. So
That explains some movies higher up on your list.
Yeah, so it's just I haven't got to it. And you know what? I have the Blu-ray. It's sitting there. I bought it. I was gonna watch it on Halloween. We figured it'd be like the perfect like outdoor Halloween creepy movie. We just didn't get to it, and I'm kind of just holding off. Right? I'm kind of waiting for that moment. So, yep, never saw The Thing.
Interesting. What do you got at number 8, Mick? Yeah, good one. Good one. Michael J. Fox. Who doesn't love Michael J?
Tightest, funnest, I don't know, more entertaining 80s experiences about time travel.
Yeah, I mean, one of the best time travel movies. It's funny, we actually have a couple time travel movies sitting on our list for whatever reason.
The best time travel movie ever. Yes,
it's up there.
Yeah,
it's up there. I think I love this movie. It's like this is very 80s. It's very like kind of campy, but in a good way. So it's got a lot of fun to it. It's very watchable. Like I think like Back to the Future 1 and 2, very watchable. 3 is kind of like, do you need to finish it?
Yeah.
You don't think you need to finish this franchise.
Yeah.
But good times. I think this is always like, if you want something like fun and lighthearted, but also kind of cool, it's like watch some Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Sorry, and I definitely wasn't just texting while I was podcasting. That's definitely why I wasn't like talking there or anything like that. It is Robert Zemeckis' probably, let's call it what it is. It's a film masterpiece. The reason that is one of the franchises that hasn't been we haven't returned to because it's perfect. It's absolutely just a perfect classic, complete time travel story that even though our nostalgia is like, oh, it's just oozing. It's like, oh, please remake this. Please, it would make so much money. Please, please, please. It's almost so respectable that people are like, we can't, like, really, until the cast is like maybe dead or we're far enough away. It's just like, what are we adding to the story that doesn't exist? It's just done so well and clean, and it seems perfect, and it's fun, it's adventure, it's an absolute just dime of a story, right? And it's one of those things. Why is it a bit lower on my list? It's probably because I like the frequency at which I've seen it recently. And one of those things where, like, I remember we watched it one night in the backyard. Lots of these movies I've watched in the backyard are kind of one of those things that, like, oh, I'd like really fall for it. And as, the clock tower, the climax of the movie is coming and he's getting back to the future, it's dark and the wind starts kind of rustling as the thunderstorm picks up in the show. And it just like adds to such an experience. And I'm like, that's great. Outside of maybe seeing this in a drive-in or something like that, a little bit more of a classic feel. It's just an incredible experience. And yeah, I'm going to say its praises. There's some other movies that are a bit more fun. I don't know, that I like more in front of it, I suppose. That's why it's at 8. So, cool. Tyson, what do you have at number 7?
Everybody who knows me knows I'm a James Bond fan.
Yeah.
So number 7, I got Casino Royale.
Okay.
I didn't love this movie when it first came out, to be honest. I think it was in high school. I want to say this was like 2006 or so. Everybody was watching it pretty well nonstop whenever we had like, let's put on a movie. I think one of my like classmates had this just sitting in their locker. So it's like, I got Casino Royale in my locker. I can go grab that right now instead of us watching this other movie like Wizard of Oz or something. I'd be like, let's watch Casino Royale. I didn't really like it because I wasn't really big into James Bond. I kind of fell off. And then it just kind of clicked. And I was like, man, this movie is good. And then it was like, man, I really love James Bond. Man, Daniel Craig's awesome. It was one of those things where it's such a tight reboot of the series. I love it. Like Casino Royale's the first book. It's one of the shorter books, but they cover so much ground. All the actors are like really well done. I just really enjoy this movie. If you're not if you're kind of like, I don't really like James Bond or whatever, it's like, give Casino Royale a shot. This is probably like your best entry point to the franchise. And I think you have a lot of fun. It's got some pretty cool, like different, like 3 solid acts. Or maybe even 4 if you want to kind of consider it that way. But it's tight. It's great screenplay. It's like very cool. It's got like great action scenes. I love it. This is one of my favorite movies, so I have to be on the list.
Awesome. Yeah, no, it is. It's that really great reboot, right? To the kind of the James Bond world as well, right? It kind of went from goofy, over the top. We have too many gadgets. We're becoming Austin Powers. Damn it, Austin Powers has us. Ugh. Gold members making more money than our movies. Great. Awesome. What have we done? We need to go gritty. We need to... Something happen in the cinema world where, like, apparently we have to go more real and grit. That's what people want, and a bit more grounded. And that's what you get with the storytelling of Casino Royale, right? And you just saw how much momentum and prestige it kind of brought back to the James Bond franchise, right? And it kind of gave it that shot in the arm, right? We're kind of, I guess, at a similar point with kind of a new James Bond needed, and not really sure where the franchise is headed. But
it's now owned by Amazon or MGM. Okay. So, and it's officially bought out. Broccoli's are now done. They've transitioned. They sold it all off. So we have Denis Villeneuve is the director. Don't have a Bond yet. I think we have the writer picked. I forget the guy's name I saw just a couple days ago. So we got the writer picked, got the director, and still no James Bond, which I'm like, at least they're doing it the right way. I know like stupid like mainstream media is just like, oh, who's going to be the James Bond? It's like, shut up. But you need a director, you need a script, then you find the actors. That's how this works.
Sure, but
stop,
I mean,
stop part of the ahead of yourself.
Part of the prestige, right? Like, no one cares about a director or a writer and stuff, right? Like, that's not what you kind of sell, because most people are like,
because you got to have stupid clicky headlines, because everybody's a brain dead moron who just wants to click on headlines. And like the proper way of making a movie, we've said this time and time again, is you have to have a good script.
Oh yeah, sure, but like
that's how everything starts. If you don't,
but I mean, you could tell me, we have the best. Like, again, it's how do you sell it, right? Matt Damon as James Bond sells more than like John what's his name? John Turturro?
John Tortorella?
No, John Turturro.
Oh, I was named the hockey coach.
Yeah, I was like not the or like the hockey coach, the old hockey coach. John Turturro, is that his name, right? Like, if John Turturro was the next James Bond, you'd be like, what? Versus Matt Damon, regardless of how good those films are, the Matt Damon movie, more people are going to see it, right? That's just kind of how it works, right? So, not to dumb things down too much, but no, it is just one of those things where, as the barometer shifter of this kind of this historic cinema experience, Casino Royale definitely, I understand, and it's kind of a kick-ass film too. It's definitely one of the ones you go back to and you're like, oh yeah, it just moves fast, cool. Like Quantum of Solace, maybe we'll skip, but like this one, oh baby, it's a good one. So
I say you just watch the first 5 minutes just for that opening scene, then you turn it off and you go, that was a fun time.
Can't wait till he goes to the desert and like climbs on an AC unit outside. I don't know. There's a part where I was like, I kind of lost the script here a little bit. Number 7. We're going to, for me. Oh, we're going to go for a long one here. Hey, I was like, this will be a fast podcast. I don't think we're going to go fast. Okay. Number 7, I've got Jaws. So told you Spielberg was going to make my list. I had one of his first entries into the silver screen, one of the first summer blockbusters, right? Jaws was released, I believe, in like 1977, based on a novel Spielberg directed, had nothing but a hard time trying to deal with this big animatronic named Bruce in the ocean, but became it's just a cherished friend. I love it. It's one of my favorite horror movies. It's probably maybe sick and twisted, the fact that I like swam and grew up at a lake and would always watch movies about Jaws and sharks. Probably means I'm a little screwed up in the head, but it is just one of those ones I love going back to, and that's why it's on one of my favorite movies. So Jaws.
Yeah, definitely a good summer horror movie. I don't think it holds up as best as it does. I feel like it's kind of like, I don't know. There's something about this movie that just like, I just don't go back to it. Okay. So I couldn't fit on my list, but good solid movie. I mean, this is a summer blockbuster for sure. So solid movie.
Yeah. And it's one of those things, like, I have this rule with some movies where I watch until it gets bad. And Jaws just, I'm like, is always good, right? There's so many classic scenes, right? Like, it almost feels like the last third, the third act of this movie where they're on the boat could be the whole film, right? You watch it and you're like, how is this 15 minutes? Like, in my mind, this was like 5 hours they're on the boat chasing the shark around. So I don't know. It's up there, kind of shown that Spielberg had a flair for visual storytelling. And it comes out pretty
Maybe
strong.
It's the second act for me.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that second act that I'm just kind of like...
You just really hate the...
Hurry up.
Yeah, it's just like sleazy mayors. And you're like, shut the beach down! Damn it. When like the human tragedy...
doesn't take that much.
Yeah, a little kid gets killed and you're like, oh, this is so boring. I don't care if his mom is sad. I just want to see the shark. How about at number 6? What do you have?
I got Terminator 2.
All right.
Come on. That's one of the sci-fi classic. Best movie in the Terminator franchise. Like a franchise that's still going strong. Even though it had 1-2 good movies. It's like, this movie is so good. It literally just like, well, we can't stop making these things because T2 was so good. James Cameron nailed it.
I think you could argue that T2 is the greatest action movie of all time.
Maybe behind one other movie, but yeah, I'll give you that.
Just in terms of, like kind of pound for pound, the allure, and I mean, I'm talking about like the mystique that was Arnold Schwarzenegger and the star power at that time that he brought to this franchise, and just kind of his aura, and it is kind of like the best work of that Arnold brought to the screen, right? I realize,
definitely the best Arnie movie for sure.
Right, and is one of those things, and as one of the best action heroes, right? It's just kind of like, and I mean action heroes, right? Like the cartoon characters. When we were talking about these guys being essentially like Hulk Hogan was a cartoon character, and would wrestle, and like lots of these guys like Stallone and Arnold would just become parodies of themselves, right? Like they're always like, oh, you're a cartoon character. Oh, neat. There are no rules. But like this is the best version of that kind of genre, that kind of 80s, 90s kind of action over the top movie. Amazing sets, great scenes, nonstop action. Is one of those ones you throw on and you'll just watch till it gets bad, and then all of a sudden he's lowering himself into the lava and you're crying and you're like, how? Right? I showed my wife this cold. She'd never really seen them, and by the end she's like, why do I love him so much? Why am I sad that he's like, why am I crying that he's burning? And I'm like, that is the wonder and charm that is T2, right? It just kind of hits on all cylinders and is an absolute just masterpiece.
Yeah, it's excellent. It's excellent. What do you got number 6?
Did you have more to say about T2? No?
No. Okay. I mean, like, what's more to say? Like, it started a franchise. Yep. Like, the robots are classic. Everything, like
literally. And we're on my number 6. That's like halfway. That's 30 minutes. Okay, an hour is perfect time for this. That's great. Number 6, I have one of my, I don't know why I love this movie. I don't know why. And I don't know why this director was lower on my list, and we see another Christopher Nolan film pop up. Like, I don't know why it's this one. It is how do I describe it? It's a story about 2 wizards that battle through time. Yeah, kind of, sort of. It's the lives of 2 magicians.
Sure.
two magicians in like the early 1900s or something like that. And it's just Christopher Nolan basically showing you like a magic trick, explaining kind of a magic trick. The movie. It is fun. It is stupid. I for some reason just love it. I love every part of it. I love the Andy Serkis. I love the random David Bowie showing up. Right, Hugh Jackman. I mean, I also like. Hugh Jackman is just delightful. That's probably one of the reasons I like this, right? Is because we do get to watch him and play a heel. He doesn't play the villain very often, right? So him playing kind of the villain, and it's, again, one of those stories where you follow the villain through the story, right? Like, you're like, oh, he must be the protagonist. Not at the end, you're like, oh, shit. That is kind of the final twist. He was wrong the whole time, right? You don't get that. So it's just, I don't know. It's one of those, it's a fun period piece with time travel, magic. What's not to love? If you told me any Christopher Nolan movie, like if I told you just a Christopher Nolan movie, what would you guess the Prestige?
No. This would be like 4th or 5th.
Okay. What's better than it in your mind?
Dark Knight, Inception, Memento.
Yeah, okay, maybe a Memento, sure. Yeah,
Interstellar.
Yeah, Interstellar.
Been this?
Fuck, is Interstellar better than the Prestige? It is, maybe it is. Huh.
Yes, and it depends. Like, it's personal preference. These are our favorites. Who cares? Like, these are you like The Prestige. That's perfect. Like, I mean, I love this movie. I was like, this is a great first watch. I think it loses it on the second watch, but that first watch, you're just like, man, that's a solid. Like it gets you. It gets you. Like,
maybe
this is
that's what it is. So it's a movie I hadn't really heard of. I was in university. My roommate said, "Hey, there's this movie I saw a preview for. I really want to go watch it. Should go see it Sunday afternoon. We go and we sit down in the theater, and I leave, and I'm like, what the hell? I think we went and watched it again. And then when it got to the cheap theaters, it was around the time like Transformers was out, and I think there was a while where we just watched, like, it would be like Simpsons, Transformers, and The Prestige, and you'd pay $2 and you go watch them. And you pay $2 and you go mini golfing, and there was a Chinese food buffet, and you could just like spend your whole day in this little parking lot and spend $10 and be full and be satisfied. It was great. It was awesome. So maybe that's part of the reason it kind of like it is greater in my mind. But yeah, like Inception is also, or not, Interstellar is great. Inception, we just watched it the other night. It falls apart a little bit. It gets messy towards the end when they're like in like the snow dream world, and I'm like, what the fuck's happening?
I like that scene because it's like randomly and suddenly we're in a James Bond thriller. It's like, sure, okay.
Yeah. Anyways, enough of that. The Prestige, yeah. Good, fun, time traveling wizard movie. Yay.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, first time you watch this movie, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? So definitely, like, this is one of those movies where I just think it does, if it gets you and you want to watch it again, that's awesome. I just think for me, it was like, watched it once and I was like, that was good. I really enjoyed it. Now I know the twist. I'm good. Okay. But solid movie, very, very solid movie. To get like to have that twist at the end, you're just like,
well,
dang,
and
well done.
And because like Nolan is just a master director, it's satisfying like knowing things, and you go back and watch and you're like, that's a cheeky line, but I now understand that line. Okay, cool. So it is one of those like added replayabilities. If you kind of, when you're like, oh yeah, I see what you did. That's good. Okay, fun. And replayability is hard too, right? Some of these movies you're like, yes, I know that Lord of the Rings is the best, but if I watch Lord of the Rings like maybe once a year, maybe once every other year, I'm like, okay, that's probably enough. Also,
I don't know. I can watch Tremors any day of the week.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah, no, Tremors is up there, sure. Yeah. What do you have at number 5? Into our top 5. Perfect.
Yeah. So I love Aliens.
Yep.
This is I'll just again. My number 5 is Aliens with an S. Yeah. No, this one super cool. I love the Aliens franchise. But I think I don't love the Aliens franchise. I just love Aliens.
Yes.
Like, Alien and Aliens are awesome. Alien 3 is fine. Alien Resurrection's kind of just like a dumpster fire, and I just pretend it doesn't exist. And then we get into like the what the heck's that? Oh, what's that trash movie that he did? God,
Prometheus.
Can't even think of it. Prometheus. Yeah, that trash. And then Alien Covenant's also just like garbage down. I'm like, so there's 2 good movies out of this entire franchise. It's got that, like, once James Cameron touches the franchise, you're like, well, now it's ruined for every other director, because you can be a talented director, but you can't top James Cameron.
Well, and certainly, and how many franchises fall like that too, right? Like, we'll talk about at least one more that you're like, everything else sucks, but the first one was done by the master, right? So you're like, okay, cool. But Aliens is up there in terms. I knew it was probably one of your favorite movies, right? And it's one of those ones I'm like looking in terms of horror movies. I just, because it's so goddamn scary, and they scare me so much, I don't think I'd go back to it that frequently, right? So it's like that. I'm a coward, I think, is why I didn't put them higher.
Yeah. And see, this is one of my travel movies. This is like, I have it downloaded. I'm going on a plane. I have it downloaded. In case I get bored or I have anxiety, I'm watching Aliens and I'm just going to be sucked right in.
That's awesome. Have you know the meme too, the Aliens review meme? So from anonymous reviewer, the review of Alien from 1979, 4.5 stars, almost perfect. I just wish there was more than one alien in it. 2 hours later, Aliens 1986, 5 out of 5 stars. Holy hell.
Hey, you know what? That describes it.
That's it.
That describes
it. That's literally, I was like, that literally is the best description I've heard of these movies. So, no, Aliens, I definitely understand that getting a 5th place. Now, for me, I've got another big slashes. I'm going to work through these ones quickly, guys, and just kind of give a quick, brief set myself up like 3 minutes. Okay, perfect. I've got essentially what I'm going to deem as my favorite comedies. For one reason or the other, these are just going to be always on my list. They hold near and dear. I love laughing. I love trying to tell jokes. I like to think I'm sarcastic and funny sometimes. I don't know. Maybe I'm not. But that would not be without... and I think probably just come down to the, like, outside of Chris Farley, the three comedians that just kind of have stayed with me, kind of helped me grow, and have been with me. So that is Dumb and Dumber. I'm specifically going to call out Jim Carrey for that one. I'm going to call out Adam Sandler and Happy Gilmore, and then finally Mike Myers with Wayne's World. So Dumb and Dumber, Happy Gilmore, and Wayne's World at number 5. I needed to put a comedy up there. I love to laugh. I just couldn't decide which of these it was, and I threw Slash just because I think they each equally kind of show and outline the greatest strength of those three comedy actors, right? You get the stupid and the body comedy and just the spasticness of Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber, which I think is probably his better roles, right? You might be able to say Ace Ventura, but he's kind of obnoxious, right? In The Mask, it's kind of just, he's a cartoon, it's kind of like over the top. It works really well. Like Jim Carrey as a cartoon character actually surprisingly goes really well. I do find that Dumb and Dumber is just a little bit more appealing. I like the soundtrack. It's a bit more calming. Happy Gilmore, we grew up golfing as kids and liking hockey, so a guy that wore a Bruins jersey and would beat people up and do stupid drives was just incredible, right? It wasn't until going back to do some prep and watch Happy Gilmore for the release of Happy Gilmore 2 this summer that I was just like, this movie is just like such a comfort film, right? I put it on, it hits me with the Leonard Skinner right off the start. I'm like, I'm in. Awesome. Yeah, I'm just gonna laugh. That's perfect. That's all I wanted. It's great. It is Sandler at probably his best. He's kind of over the top. He's kind of an egghead. He's doing product placement like ironically, and then it kind of just becomes a soul stick the rest of his career, right? And he kind of just does a stupid voice, and I'm going to talk like this and be a man-child, and oh, look at this Pepsi, But I think in Happy Gilmore, it's done somewhat tastefully at that point, too, right? And then finally, with Wayne's World, it's just an epic, iconic SNL sketch turned into a really fun movie. And going back, and sorry that I said Mike Myers in this one, Dana Carvey as Garth is the best thing. Go back and watch that movie. Just anytime Garth's on the screen, like, you're gonna smile and laugh. He's so fucking weird and so funny. He's just perfect. He's great. Everyone involved in all those movies, yeah. Dumb and Dumber, Happy Gilmore, Wayne's World. I love you guys. I love to laugh. You're my number 5.
Yeah, great comedies. I have a hard time ranking comedies high. Like, There's not a single comedy on my top 15.
Yeah.
I have a hard time ranking them high, but they're good. They're really good. They scratch that itch. This is my brainless popcorn movie. Instead of being like Transformers, I'm like, I'm gonna watch like a Dumb and Dumber or a Happy Gilmore or a Wayne's World. And honestly, Happy Gilmore 2. Yeah, I know everybody's kind of like dumping on it. You're like, I don't care. It's fun. Like, this movie doesn't have to be a masterpiece. Maybe. It just has to like make me laugh and make me smile. And it's all these movies do their job. So I'm sold. These are great picks. Yeah. Excellent choice.
I would say like Dumb and Dumber 2, my review, it was like probably like 20 minutes sucked, and then it's fine. Like, it's just like a little bit bloated. You get to the end and you're like, okay, sure. But there was generally parts where I laughed. Like, I was like, oh, okay, cool. And some of the cameos are pretty good. So
yeah. They do what comedies need to do. Do they make you laugh? Do they make you smile? Great. They did their job. If they make you feel a little bit more than that, you got something special. So good choices.
Awesome. Let's get to your number 4.
Yeah. So number 4, I got The Dark Knight. I'm so surprised you have yours so far down there. This is the best superhero movie, period.
Yes.
It's the best. Every other superhero movie kind of like in like comparison, just like, well, this movie's like kind of bush league compared to The Dark Knight, which is so like methodically like created, so beautifully acted. Like, Heath Ledger's so legendary in it. Like, even like Maggie Gyllenhaal taking over for Katie Holmes, it's fantastic. You get Christian Bale just doing his thing. Great action, great cool things. And I've seen this movie a ton, and I still kind of discover like the little things. Like, I saw somebody it's been kind of floating around like YouTube or whatever of a comparison of like Heath Ledger's and Christian Bale's actions throughout the movie. Sure. And you're just like, wow, they do kind of mirror each other. And I've never noticed that. Probably seen this movie 15 times. I'm like, I've never noticed that.
That's cool.
So there's always like little things to just like discover and see. And it's like, I love this movie. This is great.
And I mean, talks about first time experiencing a film too, right? The summer it came out, you went early on with one of your friends. And after the opening weekend, it was like maybe a Monday or a Tuesday. The review was, you have to go see it. It's not just like, it's good. It's like, no, go see it. I remember coming home from work, running, showering, and then driving into town. We picked up where the Joker's already in the bank, right? So we kind of missed the opening little kind of like setup, right? So it's pretty close. We didn't miss too much of the movie. But yeah, being blown away and driving home, and you're just like, that was worth it, right? Like that was worth spending my whole evening doing. It was such an incredible experience, and just getting to go back and rewatch it and re-experience it, and it is absolutely phenomenal, right? Like Christopher Nolan is just going down as he's the next director, right? Whatever the pantheon. He took the crown at some point, right? When he decided, I want to do this weird crime noir drama starring Batman. Everyone's like, okay, and he did it. He crushed it, right? Specifically in this century, right? And it did just change how we view cinema, right? It was one of those legendary game-changing things, right? It changed how James Bond was shown. It changed how other superheroes were perceived, right? Everything all of a sudden became gritty and more real, and it was all kind of on the back of this just incredible experience. It's a little bit lower on my list just because I find that my want to go and desires to go back and like rewatch it. It's a challenging film. It's layered. It's not just a popcorn flick. I don't think I could just put it on and space out. It kind of is consuming and makes you think, right? So it's a little bit lower on my list just as a result of that. And I don't know how these lists gets built. Maybe it's more arbitrary, right? Exactly what is 1 to 10. It could change at any given time. In fact, that's probably the best way to describe our top 10 favorite lists. Is they are super flux. They're in flux constantly, right? Like if you edited this list, you would edit it every day for the rest of your life, right? It's always going to change ever so slightly. So being at 9 is no knock. I still think it's an absolute, just incredible masterpiece, right?
Yeah.
One of the best movies potentially ever. Like if we were talking like best movies, I think you could put Dark Knight close, like top 3, and no one would ever be able to argue with you, right? And I'm talking like technically just sound best movies. So it is one of those things where,
yeah, it's good. What do you got number 4?
Number 4, I have a recent entry. I had never seen it before. A couple years ago, I randomly on a Friday night threw this bad boy on, watched it. I was like, man, that was good. Got up, listened to a podcast about it, watched it again. Listened to that podcast again. Wife came home and I was like, hey, you want to watch this movie I just watched last night? And she watched it and she's like, hey, that's pretty good. And I was like, that's the third time I've watched this since last night in 24 hours. I'd never seen it before. It is 1984? 87? Schumacher. Joel Schumacher's The Lost Boys. About a little zombie-filled town. It's kind of a quirky little adventure of two brothers fighting zombies. I don't know why I didn't see it earlier in my life. Vampires. Oof.
There you go.
Sorry, I'm like, as I'm trying to talk while I'm like searching like Lost Boys, just so I got like the date down. 87. Okay, perfect. Good. I needed that little bit of ego boost. Also, I'm really tired. I could tell you guys how much I've worked, and you've been like, why are you podcasting right now? Why don't you have a nap? And I'm like, shut up. Okay, I'll be fine. 1987's Lost Boys is just it's fun. It's just so campy. It's so over the top. I love the Frog Brothers. I love all the characters. I love the grandpa. I've shown this to like two or three of my wife's friends. Like I've made them, like couples come over and watch this movie with us, and they're always like, yeah, this is fun. And I'm like, do you want just a really gay 80s vampire movie? I was like, let's watch Lost Boys. And people watch it and they're like, that was fun. It sets a certain tone from saxophone muscled man to Michael making a weird stare in his face. It's just, it's delightful. Michael. It is delightful. Michael.
Yeah. This is that movie on your list where I'm like, what? I don't understand. I'm like, this movie's fine. It's fine. Like, it's like a 7 out of 10. It's fine. I just don't understand how like this movie is rated above like Back to the Future,
yep.
Dark Knight,
yep.
Lord of the Rings.
I like them better. Like, yeah, it's more favorite in my mind than those other ones to me.
I just
it's
above Aliens, above Transformers, above every other movie. Besides 3 movies.
Yeah,
this is 4th. But you know what? It's everybody's favorite, so I'll give it a pass. I've had one of those things where I just look at that list and I go, Lost Boys in 4th.
I've had a list on my phone for years. I'll see if I can find it at some point. Maybe when Tyson's talking, so I'm not like being a bad podcast host, of just my favorite movies, my top 10 favorite movies, right? And you're going to see that list. It looks pretty similar. Maybe I'll read it actually before we get to our number 1. But you're going to be like, yeah, that's pretty close, right? A couple of things have changed. So this is definitely more of a modern take. But I got my 1, 2, and 3 basically locked in place. And then it was, okay, what movie do I love next? And I was like, oh, it's Lost Boys. And it does fit into that same genre of like Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Are You Afraid of the Dark, right? Erie, Indiana, Goosebumps. It's right in my wheelhouse. Of course I love this movie. It's the cheesy, camp, weird 80s horror fan. I can't get enough of it, right? Like, again, I could probably watch Lost Boys almost every day. Like, I could just come home and probably watch it for a week. And you'd be like, how was your week? And I was like, it was awesome for some reason. I don't know why, but it's just awesome, right? Lost Boys, I just can't get enough of you. You're incredible. We watched the new, like, Fear Street movie on Netflix, the prom queen, and
the part there's like 3 of them.
No, that was Fear Street something, and there was different years. They specifically made one. It was just Fear Street, like prom queens. If you went on Netflix, you'd be like, oh, okay, it's okay. The greatest sin that movie makes though is like the horror girl, the friend. She's like, I just rented Lost Boys. We could do that instead of going to prom. And I was like, well, don't do that. Now I just want to watch. Don't reference a better movie in your shitty movie, because now I just want to watch Lost Boys. So, like, they lost the plot. I don't even know what happened. Like, I can't tell you if Prom Queen was good or not, because as soon as they mentioned Lost Boys, my attention was gone. And I was like, just on that beach watching Michael ride that motorcycle towards the cliff. You know, like, it's just everything you want and more.
For a certain person, sure.
Yeah.
I'm still just baffled. So I'm just going to move on and talk about a movie that should be on a top 10 list. Lord of the Rings and for my number 3.
Yep, perfect.
The entire franchise. I mean, Lord of the Rings. It's one of the best like movie like touchstones, landmarks of all time. This is a trilogy done right. Doesn't have a low point. Even the extended editions are just perfect. They expand these books. I'm sure more people have learned more about like elves and dwarves in the world of Lord of the Rings from these like movies than they ever will from the books. It's so good. It's tight. Great actors, great action, good pacing, good story, good screenplay, good everything. Like these movies, when we reviewed them, like man, this is like some of the best movies ever made.
I think it's the best film ever best thing ever filmed. It looks the cleanest, it's the most epic, it's the most beautiful, it's the most grand story you could kind of tell, and it is that end of that genre of filmmaking. It's all practical. It's done in the set. Guys went and lived in New Zealand for a year, right, and filmed this movie and had hard times and broke their foots. And I just don't think we're going to see that level of dedication to movies. Now everything can be done in the back set, and it's cheap, right? Everything looks cheap, but this is like quality, right? This is that nice fine piece of cheese. You just take one little bite and you're like, oh, that's good. I know it's very expensive, but it's just like such a fine quality experience. And yeah, it is just absolutely extraordinary. We had some time. We just watched Lord of the Rings. So we watched Return of the King. We had 3 hours to kill, threw it on, background noise, you're able to kind of move around the house, but it's just such a nice, clean, awesome, amazing. Yeah. Maybe one of the best cinematic experiences ever would be these 3 movies.
I would also say maybe the best things human beings have ever done.
Okay.
is this. Like it's good. It's so good. So the reason it's not like number 1 or number 2 on my list is because I haven't watched that one. So
you don't.
I'm gonna go to the Wikipedia recap
The Magna Carta. Yeah, I thought the Magna Carta was one of those landmarks in human life. But yeah, you're right. Lord of the Rings probably close up there. And actually, speaking of which, do you feel unfulfilled? Do you feel like you're a loser? Do you feel like you're kind of just wasting your life? Just remember that J.R.R. Tolkien didn't even start working on Lord of the Rings until he was 47 years old. So you got time.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? Yeah, always got time. You can... There's a bunch of famous actors that didn't even get into acting until they're like 50s or 60s or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just go live your life. Do what you want to do. Find your passion. Go for it. Lord of the Rings, passion project, pulled together by a bunch of people who gave a shit. And they're like, man, you can just tell by watching this movie. Everybody gave a shit. And you're like, wow, it just shows because, man, these movies are great. So that's why it's number 3. It's like this is something special. So
there you go. So speaking of number 3, something special, I have Star Wars, specifically The Empire Strikes Back, which is just absolutely a terms of kind of special place in my heart. It's always been it's the Star Wars movie that kind of sets up a little bit more of what the Force is, and it reveals a bit more of the mysteries, and doesn't have as much of a structured story, right? Again, the bad guy loses at the end, right? We get the great reveal of Darth Vader being Anakin Skywalker this whole time, son of a gun, right? To Han Solo being frozen in carbonite, to just it kind of being bleak and just ending on this like pull away shot to credits. Absolutely revolutionary, right? Star Wars, they started the ball rolling. They said, hey, look how cool this space adventure was. And everyone's like, what? So you get hit by this. This was the Dark Knight before the Dark Knight, right? This is the one where people they still talk about it. Best episodes, best endings ever, right? Best twists. Empire did it. It was one of the first. It was one of the best. I went and saw the Calgary Philharmonic actually do this movie. So you went and sat in the theater and they played the movie, and all the sound, they cut the sound out, and it was done by the actual Philharmonic that was sitting there. Absolutely magical experience, right? Like, you don't understand how just the music kind of ties into the story and how it takes you places, and just all the Yoda scenes, right? Kind of all the mysticism, the philosophy, the religion that is the Force in this film. It's just beautiful. Top to bottom, Jim Henson does an amazing job giving you this kind of fun, full, fleshed out world at a time where, again, we had puppets. We didn't have computers. We had puppets to work with, and they did it just expertly, and it's one of those ones where, that just always have a soft spot in my heart. There's a reason I think I have it on probably, well, not VHS, but there's definitely a DVD and a Blu-ray, and I probably have like a high-definition DVD of this film because I need it in my life. Star Wars Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, I love Star Wars, I should say. I love the original trilogy. Yeah, everything past the original trilogy, I just go like, this may not be for me. Like, I've tried to get into Star Wars now that it's owned by Disney and just been like Disneyfied. It's just like, this may not be for me. I'm just going to put this over here and say, like, I like the original trilogy. Yeah. I'm just going to move on to other things in my life that may be for me and my tastes.
Well, and you'll see, like Mandalorian, those like Disney Plus shows, and you get back, Andor, if you kind of want like a bleak take on what does it look like when a fascist government begins to start controlling populations and spreading fake news to manipulate the public so they can do like their own evil agendas and create some type of super weapon. Like Andor, kind of out there. I was watching it, I was like, seems too real. Plus, I don't like prequels. Like, if I know what happens, I'm just like, just show me Luke Skywalker. I'd rather watch just Luke Skywalker playing on his T-Hopper, doing something with evaporators. That's, that's all I want. Just show me Luke. I love Luke. He's my buddy. He's my hero. But yeah, what is your number 2?
My number 2, no surprise to anyone, it's another James Bond movie, because of course it is. It's Skyfall. This is my favorite James Bond movie, hands down. Okay. I felt wrong not having Skyfall on this list. This is that movie that any given day of the week, I could just be like, I want to watch Skyfall again. I could finish Skyfall and be like, I will watch it one more time. And I just love this movie. It's so good. From start to finish. It's like got like this great like moments. I know it's kind of like cheesy. Like, it's got that Dark Knight-ification.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I said that Casino Royale was influenced by Dark Knight, but you're right. This movie was influenced by Dark Knight. I had my timeline wrong. I'm sorry. Okay.
It's all good. It's all like, it all blurs by the end of it. Yeah. But yeah, no, like this movie, like there's a train, and he just happened to know the exact time that there'd be a speech in Parliament. There's a lot of like, once you start putting logic to this,
how did Joker know that the guy with the bomb in his stomach was going to end up in the cage? And yeah, like, what if they?
Yeah,
what if
there's
they?
a lot of
what if
like
they checked him and took him to a hospital? Yeah, right. You got to have some convenience, but yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Keep talking about Skyfall.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I love this movie. I made Mick do a review of it. So if you like it, if you like James Bond, I say that this one's the best. It's my favorite. Super tight. It's entertaining from start to finish, and I could watch this movie from start to finish, or any scenes. Has like one of my favorite villains, one of my favorite Bond girls. Bunch of cool, like, not too many gadgets, but just enough.
That's the thing, and I think it hits all the beats, right? Like, you get a little bit of the spy element at the beginning, right? You get the evil base, you get the lair, you get the captured too early tropes, right? The escape to the well, what if you're down and out, and how does James Bond function without his gadgets, right? To kind of the end, the technology versus the skill, the experience battle, right? Well, literally, there's an old man, Judi Dench, and Daniel Craig versus like a whole army. Okay, they survive somehow, right? So it is a nice clean movie, and it kind of just from that nice beautiful time of, I would say, Avengers, Skyfall, and Dark Knight was this really nice, like, we're going to make these really clean versions of these films, which is ultimately going to destroy genres, right? Because everyone's just going to emulate them eventually, and it's going to be a downfall. But it was kind of almost this nice renaissance of like, ooh, look at all these fun things that we haven't seen and we're seeing for the first time, and like they're fresh in our minds. Cool.
Yeah, see, I just wouldn't put Avengers in that ballpark. Like, it's good, but it's not like Skyfall
it's
or
team
like
up movie done well,
Dark Knight.
But it's a culmination of 4 movies into one team up, and we hadn't seen that before, right? And we can't get it right anymore, right? Like DCU, they're still like, they haven't done a Justice League. Well, here's all the characters introduced nicely. We're not going to cram it in, right?
I still see. The confession time. I don't like the Marvel movies. I just don't like them. They just don't work for me. I think they're all kind of like boring and not done well. So when everybody was losing their mind and Infinity War, Endgame, and all that stuff, you're like, it's fine. It's just kind of boring and very predictable and kind of not great. And I don't care about any of these characters. So I don't know. I do not like Marvel, apparently. Well, I don't like Disney's version of Marvel. Like, I've never seen a Marvel thing that I'm like, this is good. I'm like, it's just not for me. It's not for me, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm just going to go watch The Dark Knight.
And that opinion came from the guy who didn't have Lost Boys #4 on his favorites list. So now who's the real weirdo in this group? Just remember that, everyone.
It's true. Yeah. It's true. I clearly screwed up. Yeah. I'm sorry, everybody. I failed you.
Not having Lost Boys is higher. Well, Tyson, is your number 1 Lost Boys? Is that what's happening? We're on to our number 1. What is your favorite movie?
No. What's your number 2? You
never did my number 2? Oh, okay. Cool. Oh yeah, look at that. Silence of the Lambs. In terms of just thriller, horror, like killer performances atop the board from the kind of 3 main leads of this film, this thriller, detective, gritty drama. Silence of the Lambs. It's an incredible movie. It won. Did it clean up? I think it might have. Did it do a clean sweep of Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Film at the Academy Awards?
Did it also do Best Screenplay?
Best Screenplay. It might be. I think it's called like one of the. I think it won everything. It's like
it could be.
There's like 2 movies that it's like Silence of the Lambs and some movie from like the 1960s or something like that, or like the only 2 films to have just won every film category. From the amazing performance of a young Jodie Foster, right, going back and watching a young Clarice Starling run around. She's just so cute and kind of perky. To the menacing Anthony Hopkins performance, right, to just the absolutely, well, maybe transphobic, definitely transphobic Buffalo Bill. Character that's brought to us from Ted Levine. It's just phenomenal across the board. I love it. It's one of those films you kind of get into, and it is dark and it makes you feel uncomfortable, and that's the point of it. And you're not supposed to have fun with it, and it's supposed to show you kind of the horrors of the world that exist that our justice system kind of has to battle against. And it's just done expertly. It's done clean. If you see it, you're like, oh, I've seen this parody literally everywhere. Yup. That's how you know it's a good movie. Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, so Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, and Screenplay.
There you go. Boom.
The only thing it didn't win was film editing and sound.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Which, does it matter at that point? You're like, no. Like, you can't just win everything, you guys. Damn. Solid movie. Great movie. This may be sitting in my honorable mentions list because, like, I felt wrong having it not show up. I was like, Silence of the Lambs got to be on here somewhere. I'm going to put this in honorable mentions and feel dirty about it because this movie is probably better than my entire list. But I don't care. It's about my favorites. Silence of the Lambs is great. Yeah, there's a bunch of like super creepy scenes, like like when you see Jodie Foster at Buffalo Bill's house.
Oh yeah.
You know she's in danger and she's going around just like snooping around, and then you see him like turn on the night vision goggles. It has that moment of like, the character's in danger before they know they're in danger, and it's like, that's so tight, so good.
Yeah, it's done
like very very transphobic, but as a movie from the time, fantastic.
Yeah, it is one of those. I think that exact scene that you're describing, kind of the climax of the film, as soon as she goes down to the basement and the lights go out. I'm pretty sure we were watching it. My wife's just like, "Oh my fucking god, Jesus Christ!" And she like sits up in her chair, and you just hear, and she's like just pissed off now. She's like, "Fuck this, like just done with it." And I was like, well, "That's what they're going for, right?" Like you're like, "Oh yeah, it's good." So awesome. So with that only leaves 2 more entries on both of our lists. I actually couldn't find my old list. I might have modified the old list on my phone that's been there for years and years into this one, so I don't think there was a lot of change. Like I probably added Rocky, Lord of the Rings.
I feel like you added Lost Boys
and Lost Boys.
Everything else can just like take a
Happy Gilmore and
you love this movie.
Happy Gilmore and Wayne's World. I think that was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Yeah, I literally just added those ones, and
you have been singing the praises for like your list is not surprising to me. You have like a lot of these movies you have been singing the praise of. There's one movie you haven't mentioned yet, so I wonder which one that is.
What could it be?
But let's give it a quick rundown. Do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Let's go. I'll go first, then you could go, and then we'll get into your one, and then we'll finish with mine.
Sure.
Okay, so 10, I've got a hodgepodge. Lord of the Rings, Rocky, and Avengers. Couldn't decide. 9, I got Dark Knight, T2. 8 sees Back to the Future. 7, Jaws. 6, The Prestige. 5, I got my clump of Dumb and Dumber, Happy Gilmore, and Wayne's World. 4 is Lost Boys. 3, Empire Strikes Back. 2, Silence of the Lambs. And Tyson, what does your list look like?
I got some honorable mentions. So 15, I got 7. 14, Back to the Future. 13, Silence of the Lambs. 12, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. 11, Empire Strikes Back. 10, Tremors. 9, Blade Runner. 8, The Thing. 7, Casino Royale. 6, Terminator 2. 5, Aliens with an S. 4, Dark Knight. 3, Lord of the Rings. 2, Skyfall. And number 1, The Shining.
Excellent.
This is my favorite movie and has been my favorite movie for forever since I've seen it.
Okay.
I know even Stephen King doesn't really like this movie because it's not true to the source material. And you're like, I've read that book. This movie beats the pants off of that book. That book stinks compared to this bloody movie. This movie is perfection. It's so good. It's so creepy. It has like this really eerie feeling, like this play. It's the best haunted mansion movie ever done.
Yep.
It's Jack Nicholson is just like absolutely freaky. You get some of the most iconic scenes of like the blood pouring out of the elevators, him running around with the axe, like the Here's Johnny scene. It's just, man, this movie is just beautiful. Like the crazy writing of the typewriter. This, like, I can watch this movie literally every single day and never get bored because I'd always be like discovering like, oh, hey, there's this. Oh, hey, there's that. Look at that in the background. It's so good. It's so neat. It's just like, this is clear. This is easily my favorite. Like, if I was stuck on a stranded island of all the movies, of all the James Bond movies, of all the movies of all time, it's like, I'm watching The Shining. I'm bringing The Shining because I feel like I will become Jack Nicholson if being stuck on a stranded island for years, because it's just like, This movie's so freaky, so creepy. Like, yeah. And it's like the story of an alcoholic who is just like struggling, wants to be a writer. And it's just like, man, there's just layers to this. Stanley Kubrick torturing poor Shelley Duvall.
Well, I was going to say, like, you could almost break it down into a pretty good story, like above average, a good story that an expert masterclass filmmaker takes and kind of makes almost a masterpiece out of, right? And turns it into this surreal, creepy horror experience, right? And again, you're going to watch it. If you've never seen it before, I'm like, oh, I've seen this movie. It's been parodied everywhere. Yep, that's where it comes from, right? It's just an absolute banger, classic, top to bottom expert class, right? Between from Jack to Kubrick, kind of across the board. And it's a film that can be picked apart piece by piece by piece because it is just that deep.
Yeah, and Stanley Kubrick is my favorite director.
Okay.
I think he's the best director that ever lived. He was so talented, such an a-hole, but he had like clearly a vision for things, and it just like I just don't, when I watch other movies, they feel like movies. When I watch his stuff, it feels like this experience where it's like this like elevated level of what a movie should be, and everything else just feels like cheap and very budgety, where it's like his movies were like this, every minuscule, like every frame is almost like a painting. Every second is like this whole like experience. There's sure can have like some slogs in it, but I feel like you can pause at any moment, any of his movies, and you're just like, damn, like the attention to detail is just perfection. He's my favorite. I had to have him number one. This is my favorite movie. It's hands down, I think, the best movie ever made, but that's just my opinion.
Okay.
Mick, what do you got number one?
I'm going to throw from that. I'm going to throw the baton that literally was passed from Stanley Kubrick when he was the icon, the master, the best director of all time. He, at some point, had a conversation with one Steven Spielberg, and it kind of was a passing of the torch, essentially. And I believe Spielberg probably took over the mantle for a good while of being the best filmmaker of all time, right? So from one of the greatest to the next, I have the 1993 classic, absolute masterpiece, life-defining, testifying, dinosaur-making Jurassic Park. It's one of those movies I've fallen back into, and I'm just kind of, like, I think I've always secretly really liked. It scared me as a child. Again, we told stories on the multiple times we reviewed this movie on this podcast, how our parents would laugh at us because we were scared of these silly dinosaurs, dumb kids being so scared, little rascals, shaking our heads, to just kind of really leaning into and embracing that Steven Spielberg gave us dinosaurs. He brought us this magical adventure that, yeah, it's a weekend gone bad. It's a hell's paradise, right? But just, it's great. It's awesome. I can watch the Tyrannosaurus Rex attack, which might be, I say Lord of the Rings is probably the greatest thing ever filmed. Looks perfect. It's awesome, start to finish. And I mean the whole experience, everything part of it. The actual best scene, pound for pound, that ever will be, ever exist, is when they brought a Tyrannosaurus Rex to life. It ate a man on a toilet. It attacked Jeff Goldblum, and it threw a car over a little cement barrier. The Tyrannosaurus Rex attack, Jurassic Park, is just incredible, hands down. I would talk more about it, but I think we've already done probably an hour of podcasting just specifically on this movie. So Jurassic Park, you are probably my all-time favorite movie. I just love it. It's great.
Yeah, good pick. It's good. I mean, I think I rewatched all the Jurassic Park movies and World movies not too long ago, like a couple weeks ago. Yeah, they're very good. They're very good. I'm gonna stay positive. They're very good.
Well, no. Jurassic Park is like a masterpiece. Everything after that, you're like, okay, yeah, it's B level. Like a couple weeks, it was summer, raining. I was like, Jurassic Park 3, we should watch it. It's stupid. My wife's like, it is stupid, but she's like, it's like kind of fun as long as you don't think about like, why didn't the big dinosaur just go through the door to the little house? And I was like, I don't know, just don't think about it. It's fine. Yeah.
I mean, I can nitpick Jurassic Park, the first one, to hell. I'm not going to. It's a very, it started a whole generation loving dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So I will respect it. and appreciate it.
Cool. All right. So that wraps up our top 10 favorite movies. So there you go. I think we're back with our final show. I will double check. If it's like 8 and we have 2 more to go, great. If it's 9, we have 1 more to go, also great. If it's 10, I think we screwed up. I don't think it should be 10, so I'm not sure where we screwed up along the way. But I think there's still 1 more coming. We'll be back with the N64 game, I think, actually, in 2 weeks' time. So that's kind of where we're at. So hopefully you guys had a good summer, and we'll talk to you then. Do we have any final thoughts, words of wisdom, praises?
Don't hate us for our opinions, but feel free to share yours in the comments. Send us an email. We always appreciate that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I love everybody's unique lists. I think this list was always very fascinating because movies are so subjective. Mm-hmm. Same with TV shows, where me and you have lined up a lot on a lot of our top 10 lists. Just showing it, and we go back and review it. We line up a lot. These 2 lists could not have been more different. Sure, there was a few movies kind of like tucked over there, but we sure had a different way of organizing them. Everybody had their own different styles. Like you have your own style of movies. I have my own style of movies, and like we have our own favorite directors, and we have our own favorite genres. Like you had to include your comedies, and mine's like I don't have a single comedy on there. So I love the diversity, and everybody has their own personal opinion. So don't hate us. Just share us yours.
Well, and I think the big disclaimer for that too is we said our favorites, our favorite movies, right? So as stupid as it could be, like if my top one was Bridget Jones' Diary, and I was like, I don't know, I just watched, like, actually, you know what movie I do love that I didn't include? Puss in Boots: Last Wish. I don't know if anyone's seen that. Do yourself a favor, go watch Puss in Boots: Last Wish. It's stupid, it's animation, it's absolutely incredibly animated. It's like Shrek characters, but it's got cool, like, pastel-y, I don't know, it's expert, it's awesome, it's amazing. That could be my number one, right? And if that's your number one, then that's your number one.
Or if you're like, my favorite movie's Johnny Mnemonic, that terrible, really bad movie with like whatever. Who cares?
The human brain can carry 32 megabytes of information in it. Do you have any idea how much information that is? And you're like, what?
Yeah, you're like this makes no sense. You're like, but you know what? I'm sure it's somebody's favorite out there.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? We love to share opinions, and I think everybody's opinion's valid. So you know what? I'd love for somebody to even just write us and just be like, here's my list, even a top 5, top 3, don't care. Just share us some of your favorite movies. I love that stuff. So
we did have a guy emailing us about, he was like going back and listening to old episodes and stuff, and I just never responded back to him. So maybe I'll do that tonight after this and say like, thank you. Yeah. Thanks for supporting us.
Or after you have a nap because you've had a long week.
Oh yeah, that's maybe a good idea. All right, well, I'm going to go have a nap and get over this part of my life and move from there. I think we'll say bye and see you guys in a couple weeks.
See you.
Bye.